Greetings everyone, and welcome to my review of the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Captain America, Loki. It's Loki from the Disney Plus show Loki, I don't really know what else to say. And before we get into the actual figure, I just want to say that this packaging, I don't buy that many newer Marvel Legends that often. The little TVA logo in the background is great, I really like that. The little Loki symbol on top, very cool. I have not owned any Marvel Legends with this new sidecard stuff, where they basically have just almost like an oil painting sort of look, or that sort of thing, for the character that it's supposed to be, with it being a show, with the MCU. Obviously it's based on an actual shot of the character. On the back, you get a bio for Loki. Yeah. Another picture, I think it's the same one, and then all the Build-A-Figure parts and the other figures in the line, and yeah, very cool. And getting the figure itself out of the package, it's Loki. It's very much just a Loki from the Loki series, and honestly, I kind of love it. It is obviously using a decent amount of reuse from the Coulson body, which we've seen a ton of times before, mostly in terms of the sleeves and also the trousers. I think the shoes are different, but they are reused from someone else. The only original thing is the jacket itself, I believe, and then the undershirt where it has the squared off tie. And really, that's enough. In terms of the actual face, I mean, just look at that. That's Tom Hiddleston in a nutshell. That's amazing. Otherwise, details, you got the little TVA logo printed. It's not actually there, it's just a yellow marking, which is kind of a disappointment, but otherwise the detailing for the tie is pretty good. You can see a little bit of detailing for the buttons, which is always appreciated, and otherwise you have variant on the back and nothing else. It's a very clean figure, but that is exactly what he looks like in the actual show, so I'm not having any complaints with that. Going over articulation, of course, this is a Marvel Legends figure. It's pretty standard across the line, but you do have a hinge and swivel, ball joint going into a hinge, or vice versa, however you want to call it. For the head, gives you full 360 rotation, decent forward overall, pretty good back, though it is hindered a little bit by the jacket. And yeah, once again, I just can't get over that face. The photo reel is phenomenal, that Hasbro does, and yeah, there's not really anything else to say about it. As for the body, you do have forward crunch, which gets you pretty far forward. Back, it's alright. And then no side, unfortunately, but that's completely fine. At the waist, you do have full rotation, which can go all the way around, no hindrance there. At the arm, you can go... That's really tight. The detents are very tight in this. A little bit past 90, ever so slightly. You have full rotation there. Once again, very tight detents. At the bicep? I was going to call that elbow for a second there. Dog in the elbow, single elbow. Oh no, it has a... I was messing with this for about 5 minutes and I never realised. It tells you how much I pay attention. Yeah, double elbow goes a decent way past 90. It's pretty good, I like that. You're never going to need him to go much higher than that, to be fair. And then at the wrist, you have full rotation and sideways pin. Not a fan with that, because even though he doesn't have any accessories, that is technically a trigger hand, or some sort of staff-wielding hand. Should be up and down. Very disappointed in that. At the leg, I always move the other leg. I mean, it's about 45. It's not terrible. You got hinge at the thigh, double knee, most of the way up, not bad. And then at the feet, you've got a weird amalgamation of different things that I haven't been able to quite figure out. There seems to be a pin at the top going into what is just a pretty standard, foot. It doesn't want to move forward. The detents are very tight. Back, it's decent. It can go further forward, and I don't think it's hindered by the actual trouser sculpt. I think it's just a general issue with the tightness. There we go. Not bad, not terrible. And of course, forward-facing pin. Going over accessories, technically there is none, but there is the Build-A-Figure parts. And I think overall, Loki is one of the more interesting ones for Build-A-Figure parts. You could probably utilise these in some other way with some other characters because you do actually have the pin. But yeah, this is basically, by Red Wing, this is basically the main back bling. This isn't Fortnite. This is basically the standard, back piece. Connects all the wings to it. You do get a stand, which very difficult to see because of the white wall behind it. But yeah, it looks alright. A bit of a weird shape to it, but it'll definitely support Falcon if you have all the other parts, or even if you just have this and you just want to connect him to this. Red Wing doesn't really like to stay. There's a small little pinpoint. He really doesn't like to be there. And I'm not sure whether it's my mistake or really what is the issue with it, but it just doesn't like to stay in that spot. There we go. And yeah, it just hovers there. It's an alright design overall. I don't have any of the other figures in this line. I don't plan on getting them. So yeah, honestly, I'm kind of happy that I have these parts specifically, just because, as I said, they can kind of work with other figures, and if I ever end up picking up Captain America Sam Wilson, the option's there to have Red Wing on and stuff. It's a decent little combo. For size comparisons, I have the Marvel Legends Gameverse Iron Man from the Avengers video game, and then the Revoltech Deadpool, which refuses to stand and is also just hell in general. And overall, Tom Hiddleston is kind of taller than most of the cast of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so him being about as tall as a fully armoured Iron Man, slightly taller than a Revoltech Deadpool, which do tend to skew a little bit small, to be fair, I can completely live with that, though Deadpool certainly won't. And then for a mixed display, we have the battle-damaged Black Series Stormtrooper, the first edition, not the newer version, and then some random Dark Knight Returns DC Multiverse mutant figure. I can't remember the name of him. I just happen to have him, so there you go. But yeah, overall, I think this is a really, really good figure of a character that I honestly really do enjoy. I enjoyed Loki far before the Loki series, but honestly, if nothing else, that series has made me love the character even more, especially Tom Hiddleston's performance. And yeah, overall, I'm just really happy to finally have a figure of him. I've kind of, skipped on previous versions of him, and this one just kind of spoke to me in a way that none of the others have. I'm really happy with him, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. So thanks for watching, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you next time. Bye!